championship decider this one. We'll see how it plays.
And is Sanson going to take the lead? Yes, he does. He goes right round the outside of Bateman.
And that's for Resti. Whoa!
Side by side, they're going to be so close.
Oh, dear, oh dear. First Porsche win for 17 years. That is one of the best last laps I have seen ever.
Hi, I'm Jake Sanson, Britain's most charismatic potato, and welcome to Ask Jake on Downforce TV. We're at the 12 hours for the British Lawnmower Racing Association. What a perfect setting for the first ever edition of this short little vlog on Downforce TV, where I get to answer all your questions, the ones you've always wanted to pick the brains of a commentator and never had the chance. Well, here's your lucky day. So let's crack on with the first question then. Tim Holland wants to know, do I prefer commentary for TV or at the track? If I'm at TV and the track, that's always the best because you get the atmosphere from being in the pits while the racing is going on, while the build-up is happening. That's always much better. TV I quite like, but only if I've got a timing screen in front of me and only if I actually know what's going on. Or at the track is always much better. So if I had to choose between the two, it's track every time. Now, Ewan Graham wants to know, what do you think is the current problem with British karting? Do you have to give me a really difficult question to answer there, Ewan? It's so many different things that are an issue. British karting actually is in quite rude health at the moment, especially if you look at things like the Rotax and the TKM classes. They are so burgeoning. It's the non-MSA classes that are in massive health at the moment. It's the MSA classes, they're in real jeopardy. Now my commentary partner on Super 1, Alan Tadei, says that we should just get rid of fees for MSA licenses for a year or two and just cut out the middleman. I don't know if it's as easy as that, but certainly the MSA should be working really hard to try and entice back some of the non-MSA runners. Super 1 is the best championship in the country. It needs to look it. Right, Alex Phillips wants to know, how would you improve the show in F1? Engine freedom, technical freedom. Simple as that. We need at least 5 or 6 more engine manufacturers to come in, and we need technical freedom to make that a possibility. So let's ditch the current engine regs that we've got, let engines develop all the way through the season, and let the teams actually play a little bit more with the regulations. All those fantastic Formula 1 cars of the late 80s and early 90s, we like them, they look good, they sound good. Let's get it back to the way it used to be. Mind you, the racing in the last couple of seasons has been fantastic. Just look at Hungary. So, all it needs is just a little bit more flexibility and we've got perfection. So, let's move on to Mark Edwards. He wants to know, is racing in Europe better than racing in the UK? That's a really good question. I've had an opportunity to go and look at a couple of different countries' ways of going about things. Italy, Hungary, and particularly Germany. I used to really love the German motorsport ladder. I'm not talking about the DTMs and the Formula 3s. I'm talking about the ADAC GT Masters, Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland, and ADAC Formula 4. That was really exciting to watch. I don't know whether Europe does it any better than Britain does, but what's really interesting to note is that the Europeans go there en masse. There are so many spectators at national club events on the continent. So we need to do something in this country to make sure we get just as many people through the gate as the Europeans do. Then we are laughing because everybody knows British motorsport is the best in the world. Now let's have a chat with Simon Fisher. He wants to know, if you could have dinner with anyone, who would you choose? It's a bit of a balmy one. Murray Walker. I have a feeling that would be a good night. Dominic Smith wants to know, what was your favourite toy as a child? Am I allowed to say Scale Electric? Yes, I think I am. Come on, I'm a motor racing commentator. What else was I going to say? Elliot Marcus wants to know, I see you're getting your ARDS test, so are you going to race anything full time? Oh, I'd like to be able to say yes, but unfortunately there are babbies at home and there is a partner who will divorce me if I go full time. So it's as simple as, I'm doing my ARDS test for a few track days and test days. I might do the odd race every now and then, but no, I'm afraid I will be a commentator full time. She wasn't looking, was she? Okay, right. I might do a bit. We've had an anonymous question come in. What would be your favourite series you have commentated on for TV? That's a bit of a difficult one as well. I love the World Series by Renault. I adore GP3. And I have to say I'm quite a big fan of the Super 1 National Karting Series. They're my 3 babies. I don't know whether I could pick one over any of the others with those 3 because they're all pretty special. they also have something that's very unique about each of them. One's on the F1 package, one is going a completely different way about the single-seater ladder, and another one is giving us the new talented generations for the upcoming years. So I quite like all three of them pretty much equally. You have to force me over a barrel and pick one. I'm British. I'll say Super One. Let's look at another anonymous question that has come in. Who do you think will win the Mighty Mini Championship and Fiesta Juniors in 2015? Oh, come on. That's like saying, which grain of rice is better in a sweet and sour? It's just so difficult to know this year because it's so competitive, particularly in the Mighty Mini Championship. There's at least 5 different drivers who could win. Earlier on this season, probably before Castle Combe, I would have said Braden Fletcher, but then he had those 2 races where the car just didn't go anywhere. So it looks like it's going to be Liam Sullivan all the way. Pretty hard to say it can go anybody's way when he's got that bigger lead, but if he has the same sort of weekend that Fletcher had, it's open house again. At the moment, my money's on Liam Sullivan, but I don't want to double guess on that one. Fiesta Juniors, again, I think it's between Aaron Thompson and Michael Higgs. If you have to give it to one of them, it's looking like Aaron Thompson at the moment, but Nathan Edwards is doing a great job at what he's doing in 3rd position, and he is catching the 2 whenever they drop the ball. So could well be a 3-way fight down to the wire. Good luck to all of them, and a big shout out to all the guys in Fiesta Juniors. You are doing a cracking job, and keep it up. Ryan Ferris wants to know, what is your take on Nigel Roebuck's article in Motorsport magazine about F1 being too safe and the public becoming too sensitive? It's a really interesting debate. I can see where Nigel's going on this one. It's a difficult situation to talk about, especially when you take into account the Senna, Ratzenberger, Bianchi issues. Yes, Formula One is very safe now, more than it has ever been. Is it too safe? I don't think it is at the moment. I think it's just about where it needs to be. I think the drivers have always had a bit of an attitude of, well, the cars are invincible, so I'm okay. But I think the recent Jules Bianchi incident is actually going to bring it home to a couple of the drivers. They're going to start to realise that actually this is still a dangerous sport. Things still can happen. So I think that's actually going to be less of an issue as time goes on. Is the public becoming too sensitive? Definitely. You have to think about this in terms of the fact that this is motorsport. It's dangerous. Things are going to happen. Another anonymous question has come in then. Your thoughts on the American dirt oval scene? That's interesting because I quite like my British dirt ovals and I quite like my American NASCAR, but my knowledge of American dirt ovals is pretty much beginning and ending at the World of Outlaws video game on the Xbox 360. That's all I know about it really, other than a Wild About Wheels special I must have watched when I was about 6. So it's a great looking sport. I think it's very much that beautiful combination between Brisker F1 and NASCAR that I'd just love to be able to see. If anybody can get me a plane ticket out to the States to go and have a look at it, I would absolutely love to embrace the sport because it looks amazing. So, well, I don't really have much of an opinion on it, but that's only because I don't know a huge amount about it. From what I've played on the Xbox and what I've seen on YouTube and whatever, looks pretty good. Sign me up. One final question before we disappear then. Would you consider debating the Btcc versus V8 Supercars on Pitboard one day? Hell yeah! Let's do it! Next edition! Get on our website, downforce-radio.co.uk, and find out what happened. Sounds like a plan. So, there you have it. That's all from Five Oaks. We'll see you for the next edition of Ask Jake right here on Downforce TV. Tally-ho!
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day.
Bad idea.